everybody, this is Cybes John, and welcome back to Cybes 3D Prints. This is, I'm not even sure what episode this is, but all you need to know is that this is probably part 6, if I'm not mistaken, for the animated Omega Supreme project. So, just to clarify, I did not get to the point that I wanted to get to before doing this video, but I did not want to leave it another year without having done a video to show any form of progress, basically, because I don't know whether there's anyone who thinks I'm still not doing anything on it. It's just that I have other things going on in my life that are more important than this, and this is now more of a hobby thing for me, and it's gonna be like, you know, amongst the other things that I want to do, depends on how much I want to prioritize this, really. And, yeah, it's been, oh god, it's been a good couple of months since I've done anything on this, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna remember quite a bit after I take a look at some of these test pieces, honestly, these samples that I've done, these development bits, and I'm gonna have to just, this is more of a breakdown of some of the bits that I've done so far. So what we're looking at me having constructed here in terms of design is we're looking at the backpack, basically. That's what we're after here, the backpack, and also the various bits that I have to have that come off so that you have a sleeker looking robot mode. Where he'll have kibble, yeah, but his kibble just won't be as chunky because you'll be able to use that kibble and it'll be able to interact as something else other than being parts that you have to put on the side. So I'm gonna basically start with let's start with the front nose cone. So, hang on. Where did I have it? He's over here in the, yeah, there he is. So, this was what I was working with, originally. So this was completely solid, as you can see. And we had slots in there, and whatnot. And what I had to do was try and transition this into my version of SolidWorks. So, I did this on, I think, was SolidWorks 2020. I had to take this and I had to basically reconstruct it from scratch. And this is what we've got. So this is near enough. I mean, completely ignored the terrible extrusion quality on this, by the way, because this was done on the Acubic Formax Pro. With the feeding issues, but yeah, if you take a look at both here, you can see that this is, it's fairly accurate to the model in terms of size and dimensions, but I did make a couple of differences. So I changed this bit up here, whilst keeping, I think, the peg ports in a similar place. And you can see that this is, it's slightly different here, and I'm going to show you why in a bit. And then the area that's down here, I took that off as well. So that is actually on the back of Omega Supreme at the moment. I'm going to put this aside for now, and we're going to take a look at, yeah, we're going to take a look at this now. So this is basically the bottom portion of the backpack. So if I take a, oh god, I've got a mountain of bits here, but I'm going to take one that probably doesn't have any tabs on it. So yeah, basically, if you imagine it, that's what this entire piece was. This entire piece was basically this entire chunk. Really, really massive. And in actual fact, I had I had a backpack that was bigger than this. It had the turret section that I wanted to use to basically have the head pop into. So if I show a development piece here, so this, for example, I had this also fully fused into it. So I had to go and do a lot of reworking to this backpack piece and slicing and taking apart. And what we have here is the start of well, it's the start of something in terms of like a droid, some type of tank basically. So, which is what I thought. I thought, okay, G1 Omega Supreme is a tank rocket base. Now, yeah, we're doing animated Omega Supreme, but there's no reason why there can't be something that's stylized that still gives a G1 homage. So, when he's in robot mode, you can, I mean, yeah, for sure, you can choose to put all these bits that you take off to the side, or you can have them come together and form this double-barreled tank, so to speak. So I'm going to show you now. So this is the final version of this. It's been done in the red, and I've got the pegs here for it to connect to the rest of the backpack, which will be connected to the big model here. And what I've got here is I've also created this little bit here, which has tabs which align with this. You can basically plug that in like that, so you get your turret there. And what we also have is we've got turrets that I hidden that basically flip out. I mean, for sure, these should be bigger. And I didn't really think this through, but proportionally these could be bigger, to be honest, but I think this is okay. But yeah, these are 5mm ports, so they are blast effect compatible, so that's kind of cool. And there's a couple of other bits that I gotta do here as well, because there's a little bit here for, in terms of backpack area, that's gotta be this yellow color, which plug into the tabs here. And this is also where they're going to be in terms of in the vehicle mode, but there's got to be 2 points on it where they actually tab. So one where it's got to be for the tank, one where it's got to be actually for when it fully comes together for the shuttle mode. But yeah, for now, this is kind of like the hull and the turret in a way. And, well, the big dark yellow bits are going to be like basically like the tread bits of this tank, but I think this gives you an idea of how that's gonna go and how all that's gonna end up probably. I guess the one bit that I did loads of work on, because I'm gonna just I gotta just get rid of some of these bits just to give me some space, is gonna be the turret for the head. So if anyone saw my end of video from last year, you'll know that I showed a couple of development pieces for that, that I had started working on it, and yeah, wasn't really that finished. It's finished now. I have now finished it. So for those of you that need a recap, so I started with this. I did a pencil outline here so that I knew where the head stopped on the sliding rail here. So that gave me a bit of information to work with in terms of measurements. And then we got to this. So we got a square box. But we're starting to think about where I can put a stopper in here. So this is for, if I show the head up here. This is for trying to find out where between this bit here on his helmet and just below that bit there, that slides in there and acts as a stopper to help with stopping it. It becomes really difficult once you know about some of that to try and keep track of all the development pieces that you've done. But this was the next bit I think that I did. So you can see a bit of stepping here, trying to do a bit of filler, trying to fill it in a bit more, trying to create some of the shapes there from the head. And here I've also got the little joint there. I decided I wanted it to be ratcheted, so you can see how small these teeth are, and I will be showing how I intend for them to interact. And then I think, yeah, what I was doing after that was basically just so that I could get the most accurate possible measurements I was just slicing them in half and doing half slices here, so that I could just pop them in and get a visual of what it was looking like with the head, so that I could get a better idea. And you can see this is me trying to fill in the gap where it curves back here and stuff. And again, you can see a bit more here. It's just, yeah, a lot of these development pieces were just me trying to find a way to just fill a lot of that space, so that I could make sure that it fitted as tight and as snug as possible, so that it would look the correct way. And then eventually we get to this. This is where we get to, and it's like, ooh, okay. And this is kind of good too. And then after a couple of changes and whatnot, I get to this, and this is the final version of the turret here. I mean, proper final. Now, what you will notice is that there are a couple of areas that are super thin here. So the area here between this and this, a lot of this here, that is only 0.4. So that's basically the nozzle size of the default nozzle there. And I'm quite impressed with how I've challenged this printer with doing that, and it's managed to keep it as accurate as possible, and it's not wibbly at all. And also, I mean, yeah, it's a bit wibbly here, but because of how connected it is all the way around, it's pretty strong as well. So I'd say just don't go too ham with it. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna just show how it works by taking the head off. So the whole intention of what I wanted for the head was, and if I actually bring the backpack back in, or a version of, the whole intention, here we go, so this is a decent preview. So this bit's this up here with that's got part of the rail started for the neck, and what I wanted was for you to be able to, you turn the head around, you basically have it go up, this track. You have it go up this track. I mean, this isn't even finished yet, so I still gotta do some modifications to this piece as well, this neck bit. But basically it's supposed to go up the track, and that ends up here in the turret, inside the turret, which is, that's what I intended to do from the beginning. But yeah, basically when you get to the end, it should slide in like that. It should slide in like this, and this I think looks pretty cool for a turret at the end of the shuttle. And to give you an idea, that's kind of how it's gonna sit there. And to give you a better idea, if I bring, so I know this has tabs, but if I bring it in just as gives you an idea of how it's gonna kind of look with all those bits on. And I guess that kind of brings me now to the main backpack section, which has been, as far as I remember, that's been giving me, that's been a bit of a pain in the butt to me at the moment. Because I wanted to do that whole funky thing with ratcheted mushroom, so which is kind of cool. So oh, you wanted to fall back. Oh, that's not fun. Yeah, the hip situation on this, even though I actually showed it being how I could tighten it, as far as I'm aware, it's still a bit funky, so I think there's still a little bit more I can do with tightening that spring by actually elongating one of those teeth as well, which is probably going to help it a little bit more, probably, and make it a bit more tight. Yeah. Ooh, where was I? Yeah, talking about the backpack. So, what I wanted to do was I wanted to create like a tooth system, like a very small tooth system. So, this is so tiny, but you can see that this is basically a tooth that I'm trying to design to fit inside the backpack area. I'm gonna try and show that. So you can see in here, there should be a circular void in there. And this is where that's gonna slide in once I've actually put the spring down to size. And I think it's gonna be really, really cool, honestly. So, and the spring is from a ballpoint pen. So just your regular ballpoint pen. If you got one that's ran out of ink or anything like that, take the spring out of it, keep it, hide it away so you can use it. Use it for something else, just like this. If you are a very, very handy or maybe kit bash type person, and I think it's a great way of reusing a spring rather than and trying to reuse bits of a pen, instead of just throwing it all away into landfill. This is a really good way of just feeding it into a project where you are recycling. Anyway, so I have so many test bits of this because I had so many bits that I had to sort out. So, yeah, so this is probably one of the earlier ones here. And you can see this is just me trying to sort out the spring hole here, and try and then sort out all of this up in here, and try and make it all try and connect. And if I show, I mean, it's pretty close, but I've also got, it was also a bit too small. This was too small, so I had to make it bigger. So this is where I also went through quite a lot of test pieces trying to do these screws as well, and I'm on that as well, trying to get the countersunk screws to work out. And currently the walls are a little bit too thin for supports and stuff like that. And I've been trying to find a similar threading that I had in the head in terms of diameter hole to create the threads on the battery circuit screws. Yeah, that's been challenging and a bit tricky. So yeah, I've got a couple of speed humps that I gotta deal with in terms of problem solving when I get back onto this, but it gives you an idea of where I'm at and where I was hoping. It gives you an idea of where I was hoping I was going to be. But yeah. Oh yeah, one other thing to note, which I did actually talk about a very long time ago, I think, as well. I did some painting, so you can see he's a little bit more colourful now. He's got some of the cartoon accents on him. You can see there's some black here on the thrusters. He's got some stuff up here. Obviously, I painted his head a bit more. You can see. Taking some of the cartoon accents there, and then you can, if I can open it up, I've gone painted in here as well, inside all the inner weapon gubbins and stuff. So he's starting to look a bit more alive. And also, if I open this up, you can see I've also done the red here on his hand. Yeah, this is still a prototype. It's a bit loose in areas. Some of those areas I am going to try and tighten up a bit more. I'm going to use kind of like just some folded paper that I just slip in there. And specifically for this as well, because it's got to be like this on the other arm where it's just really, really slidey. I'm going to pop some paper inside, and that's going to help make it a little bit thicker. It's going to hopefully keep it in place and stuff. So, yeah, and I've also painted in here. You can see I got the yellow dots in there, and it's all black in there. I've not done that on this side. I've only done that on one side at the moment. So it's kind of like I've done quite a bit of painting, but it's kind of like half done at the moment. It's not all there, but this is me and just me doing hand painting. I think this was probably the first time I was doing hand painting with the Citadel stuff before I actually hand painted any other 3D printed projects. So I've gotten quite good at it now, got a delicate finger on it, and I do quite enjoy doing it. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for the update for this episode. It's been a bit of a long one, me just talking. Yeah, that is it. And all I can say is I hope it's not too long before I get another video like this out, and yeah, I mean, I hope so, but given what I'm dealing with in terms of my personal and real life stuff outside this, I can't make any promises to you, because that takes priority over this, unfortunately. But I will try and get another one of these sorted out as soon as I have done a little bit more progress. Right, this has been Cybertron John with a update on the Transformers animated 3D printed Omega Supreme. Peace out.